and then he disappeared. So when Parikshit Maharaj is born, good signs of the zodiac evolved. All nakshatras are very wonderful. So this child, his hair, apparent hair of Pandu, exactly like him in prowess Tripad. So let us see. Tata Sarva Gunodarke Sankula Grahodayi Jagge Vamshadhara Pandu Bhuya Pandu Tibojasa Tataha. Thereupon Sarva Gunodarke. Udarke means evolved. All good signs evolved. Sa Anukula, everything favorable. Grahodayi, first relation of stars, all favorable. When he took birth, Jaggi. Vamshadhara is the hair of Pandu. We have Pandu and Dhritarashtra. So here about the Pandu has been told. Who is Pandu then? His great grandfather. Pandu. Vamshas of Pandu. Bhuya is exactly like Pandu. Ojasa in power. So all good signs when Parikshit Maharaj is born. So Prabhupada is writing the big purport because he is actually the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam evolved because of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know what should be done at the time of putting the body. When a person knows that he's going to die, what should be done? So it's only because of Parikshit Maharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam evolved. That is why it is not that Parikshit Maharaj got the curse. Nobody can give curse to Parikshit Maharaj. He's a great devotee. This is one Bhauma Leela. Just for the Bhauma Leela, the Leela happens like Parikshit Maharaj getting curse. Who can touch Sita? Nobody can touch Sita. But Ravana has to be killed, so Maya Sita. In the same way, like Parikshit Maharaj, who knows what is dharma, can he put dead snake on any stage? No, he cannot do that. He will not do it. But one Leela has to happen. So it is said, Parikshit Maharaj, original Parikshit Maharaj, who is a great devotee, he has not done this. As a Maya Parikshit Maharaj. That means covered. Because the Leela has to happen, it should be seen as if for the 7 days only that much time he has. Original Parikshit Maharaj, who is the original devotee of Lord, he will not do all this. There is something known as Bhauma Leela, something is always known as eternal Leela. The eternal Leela or eternal Parshada of the Lord will not do all these things. For putting the snake, then he getting the curse. Who can curse? Narayana, mute your phone. Who can curse Parshada? Adi Satvik Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। श्लोका 12 ततः सर्वगुणोदर्के सानुकूल ग्रहदये यज्ञे वंशधरः पाण्डुर्भूय पाण्डुरी भोजसा। Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereupon, when all good signs of the zodiac gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. Purport: astronomical calculations of stellar influences upon a living being are not suppositions, but are factual, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Every living being is controlled by the laws of nature at every minute, just as a citizen is controlled by the influence of the state. The state laws are grossly observed, but the laws of material nature, being subtle to our gross understanding, cannot be experienced grossly. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 3.9, every action of life produces another reaction. which is binding upon us. And only those who are acting on behalf of Yajna, within bracket Vishnu, are not bound by reactions. Our actions are judged by the higher authorities and agents of the Lord. And thus we are awarded bodies according to our activities. The law of nature is so subtle that every part of our body is influenced by the respective stars. And a living being obtains his working body to fulfill his terms of imprisonment by the manipulation of such astronomical influence. A man's destiny is therefore ascertained by the birth time constellation of stars, and a factual horoscope is made by a learned astrologer. It is a great science, and misuse of a science does not make it useless. Maharaja Parikshit or even the personality of Godhead appear in certain constellations of good stars, and thus the influence is exerted upon the body thus born at an auspicious moment. The most auspicious constellation of stars takes place during the appearance of the Lord in the material world, and it is specifically called Jayanti, a word not to be abused for any other purposes. Maharaja Parikshit was not only a great Kshatriya emperor, but also a great devotee of the Lord. Thus, he cannot take his birth at any inauspicious moment, as a proper place and time is selected to receive a respectable personage. So also to receive such a personality as Maharaja Parikshit, who is especially cared for by the Supreme Lord, a suitable moment is chosen when all good stars assemble together to exert their influence upon the king. Thus, he took his birth just to be known as the great hero of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This suitable arrangement of astral influences is never a creation of man's will, but is the arrangement of the superior management of the agency of the Supreme Lord. Of course, the arrangement is made according to the good or bad deeds of the living being. Herein lies the importance of pious acts performed by the living being. Only by pious acts can one be allowed to get good wealth, good education, and beautiful features. The samskaras of the school of Sanatana Dharma, man's eternal engagement, within bracket, are highly suitable for creating an atmosphere for taking advantage of good stellar influences. And therefore, Garbhodaka samskara, or the first seedling purificatory process prescribed for the higher castes, is the beginning of all pious acts to receive a good, pious, and intelligent class of men in human society. There will be peace and prosperity in the world due to good and sane population only. There is hell and disturbance only because of the unwanted insane populace addicted to sex indulgence. Thank you very much, Mataji.
So Garbhodana Sanskara is only for the higher caste. Good and sane population will be there. You cannot expect that in the Shudra class. Or you can expect even in the Vaishya class also. Generally, it is done in Brahmins. And the Brahmin get married, then there is a Garbhodana Sanskara. Kshatriyas, where it is found, but it's in Kshatriyas also it is there. Good population should be there for that. Knowledgeable population who can read the Shastras. Okay, 13th verse. Tasya Pritamana Raja Vipraidhaunya Kripadibihi Jatakam Karyamasa Vachayitva Itcha Mangalam. Tasya his Pritamana, satisfied Raja, King Yudhishthira, Viprahi by the learned Brahmanas, Dhaumya, Kripa, Adivi, Jatakam. One of the purificatory process just after the birth of the child, Karyam, then perform. In this way, auspicious recitation also was there. So the Yudhishthira Maharaj is very satisfied because their last hair is there, and he was very happy. His hair is saved somehow. This was the only hair which was left. So he was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit. Jataka ceremony was there. Jataka ceremony means cutting of the umbilical cord. There's a purificatory process. Then that is put in the kavach and then tied in the child, in the waist of the child. In every Brahmin's house, Kshatriya's house, this is done. This is all the purificatory process which they do. They tie it in the small, because it's mother's nabi from where the food goes. Now, so this purificatory process was done at the time. Dhomi and Kripa, these Brahmanas, they chanted the auspicious hymns. So in the Varnashrama, these systems, purificatory systems, has been given, the Varnashrama Dharma. So Pancharatrika system acts on Shudra class of men, supposedly the population of the Kali Yuga, and it is prescribed purificatory process suitable to the age and time. Such a purificatory process is only allowed for the spiritual upliftment, not for any other purpose. Prabhupada writes, in Kali Yuga, all are Shudras. Generally, the people are Shudras. So, purificatory process is very much important. In the first paragraph, you will see it is not possible, however, to revive the Vedic process of purification in this age for want of proper facilities and good brahmanas. But Pancharatrika system is recommended. So, Pancharatrika system, that means referring to the worship of the Lord. That is for everyone. That is common for everyone. So here, other sanskaras Prabhupada writes about Shimantotsav, Simantonayana, Sadabhakshanam. All these are all there in the pregnancy time. And then Jatakarma is there. All this should be done very nicely. The Goswamis say, because in this Kali Yuga all are Shudras, practically most of them are Shudras. Pancharatrika formula is wonderful. Now, what is Pancharatrika formula? Use everything in Krishna service. That is by Pancharatrika. That is worship of the Lord. Simple. So that is given here. Purificatory process. About purificatory process has been given. That how Yudhishthira Maharaj performed purificatory process for Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, Vimla read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tasya prita manadraja vipradhomya kripadhibi jatakam karyamasa vachitvacha mangalam. Translation. King Yudhishthir, who was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas, headed by Dhaumya and Kripa, recited auspicious hymns. Purport. There is a need for a good and intelligent class of Brahmanas who are expert in performing the purificatory processes prescribed in the system of Varnashram Dharma. Unless such purificatory processes are performed, there is no possibility of good population, and in the age of Kali, the population all over the world is of Shudra quality or lower for want of this purificatory process. It is not possible, however, to revive the Vedic process of purification in this age for want of proper facilities and good brahmanas, but there is a Pancharatrika system also recommended for this age. The Pancharatrika system acts on the Shudra class of man, supposedly the population of the Kali Yuga, and it is the prescribed purificatory process suitable to the age and time. Such a purificatory process is allowed only for spiritual upliftment and not for any other purpose. Spiritual upliftment is never conditioned by higher or lower parentage. After the Garbhadan purificatory processes, there are certain other sanskaras like Simanto Nayan, Saddha, Bhakshanam, etc. Saddha, Bhakshanam, etc. during the period of pregnancy, and when the child is born, the first purificatory process is Jata Karma. Jata Karma. This was performed daily by Maharaj Yudhishthir with the help of good and learned Brahmanas like Dhaumya, the royal priest, and Kripacharya, who was not only a priest but also a great general. Both these learned and perfect priests, assisted by other good Brahmanas, were employed by Maharaj Yudhishthir to perform the ceremony. Therefore, all the sanskaras, purificatory processes, are not mere formalities or social functions only, but they are all for practical purposes and can be successfully performed by expert brahmanas like Dhaumya and Kripa. Such brahmanas are not only rare but also not available in this age, and therefore, for the purpose of spiritual upliftment in this fallen age, the Goswamis prefer the purificatory process under Pancharatrika formulas to the Vedic rites. Kripacharya is the son of great Rishi Sardaban and was born in the family of Gautam. The birth is said to be accidental. By chance, the great Rishi Sardaban met Janapadi, a famous society girl of heaven, and the Rishi Sardaban discharged semen in two parts. By one part, immediately a male child, and by the other part, a female child were born as twins. The male child was later on known as Kripa, and the female child was known as Kripi. Maharaja Shantanu, while engaged in chase in the jungle, picked up the children and brought them up to the Brahminical status by the proper purificatory process. Kripacharya later became a great general like Dronacharya, and his sister was married to Dronacharya. Kripacharya later on took part in the battle of Kurukshetra and joined the party of Duryodhana. Kripacharya helped kill Abhimanyu, the father of Maharaj Parikshit, but he was still held in the esteem by the families of the Pandavas due to his being as great a Brahman as Dronacharya. When the Pandavas were sent to the forest after being defeated in the gambling game with Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra entrusted the Pandavas to Kripacharya for guidance. After the end of the battle, Kripacharya again became a member of the royal assembly, and he was called during the birth of Maharaj Parikshit for the recitation of auspicious Vedic hymns to make the ceremony successful. Maharaj Yudhishthir, while quitting the palace for his great departure to the Himalayas, entrusted Kripacharya with Maharaj Parikshit as his disciple, and he left home satisfied because of Kripacharya's taking charge of Maharaj Parikshit. The great administrators, kings, and emperors were always under the guidance of learned Brahmanas like Kripacharya, and thus were able to act properly in the discharge of political responsibilities. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So Dronacharya's wife is Kripacharya's sister. The position of the Brahmanas in the Kshatriya community has been given. How the kings protected always the Brahmanas. Even the Brahmana was there in the side of Kauravas, but still Kripacharya always got a very wonderful position. And Kripacharya is given this task of taking care of Parikshit Maharaj. Hiranyam Gam Mahim Ram Graman Hastyashvatrupatirvaran Padat Padan Swannam Chaviprebhya Prajatirthe Satirthavit. So Hiranyam, gold, Gam, cows, Mahim, land, Gramam, villages, elephants, Hasti, Ashwan, horses, Rupatihi, the king, rewards. So when the child is born, naturally out of happiness, everybody wants to give some charity. Now the king's house, the child is born, naturally gold, cow, land, everything was given in charity. Then Suvannam, nice, wonderful food grains. To whom? It is given to the Brahmanas. Prajatirthe, on the occasion of the birth of the son. So in this way, Tirthavit. So Tirthavit here refers to The king who knew how to give, when to give, whom to give is very important. Tirtha with whom to give charity, how to give charity, and where to give charity. Whom, when, where. If a person knows this, he will be never entangled with the charity what is given. You cannot give a charity to a beggar. You will misuse it. You cannot give charity in pride. One has to give charity with complete humility. How? When? You have an occasion for everything. Like the birth of the child is there, Ekadashis are there, some nice festivals are there. Naturally, the charity has to be given. That is when, where you are giving the charity, that is very important. Are you giving charity anywhere? No, you are giving charity to a responsible person. You are giving charity for a mission. Like Go Seva, this is a mission. And you have Annadan, this is a mission. So how, when, and where, very important. The king knew this, and the king gave this charity upon the birth of his son. Okay, Gadadhar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Danadnam. Hiranyam Gamahim Graman Asti Ashwara Nirpairvaran Pradata Swarnam Sa Viprabhaya Prajatirte Sa Tirthavi. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Upon the birth of a son, the king who knew how, where and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food grains to the Brahmanas. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Only the Brahmanas and Sannyasis are authorized to accept charity from the householders in all the different occasions of samskaras, especially during the time of birth, marriage, and death. Wealth is distributed to the Brahmanas because the Brahmanas give the highest quality of service in regard to the prime necessity of humankind. The charity was substantial in the shape of gold, land, villages, horses, elephants, and food grains, with other materials for cooking complete foodstuff. The Brahmanas were not therefore poor in the actual sense of the term. On the contrary, because they possessed gold, land, villages, horses, elephants, and sufficient grain, they had nothing to earn for themselves. They would simply devote themselves to the well-being of the entire society. The word Tirthahavit is significant because the king knew well where and when charity has to be given. Charity is never unproductive or blind. In the Shastras, charity was offered to persons who deserved to accept charity by dint of spiritual enlightenment. The so-called Daridra Narayana, a misconception of the Supreme Lord by unauthorized persons, is never to be found in the Shastras as the object of charity. Nor can a wretched poor man receive much munificent charity in the way of horses, elephants, land, and villages. The conclusion is that intelligent men, or the Brahmanas, specifically engaged in the service of the Lord, were properly maintained without anxiety for the needs of the body, and the king and the other householders gladly looked after all other comforts. It is enjoined in the Shastra that as long as the child is joined with the mother by the navel pipe, the child is considered to be one body with the mother. But as soon as the pipe is cut and the child is separated from the mother, the purificatory process of Jata Karma is performed. The administrative demigods and past forefathers of the family come to see a newly born child, and such an occasion is specifically accepted as the proper time for distributing wealth to the right persons productively for the spiritual advancement of society. Hare Krishna, Danadnam.
That's why Brahmanas are protected. Charity is given to Brahmana, only they can accept charity. Kshatriyas cannot accept charity. Shudras cannot accept. And Vaishyas also cannot accept. Only Brahmanas can take charity. If they take charity, then what happens? You cannot give charity, you cannot give wealth. You can give food to everyone, but wealth cannot be given. Cows, horses, elephants, those things cannot be given to others. Only Brahmanas can be given. Shatkarma Brahmanas are those who give charity except charity, who give mantra except mantra, who perform yajna and who makes others also perform yajna. They are Shatkarma Brahmanas. To the Shatkarma Brahmanas only you can give charity. Now a person is born in the Brahmin family but is going to office to work. He cannot accept charity. He is not a Shatkarmi Brahmana. Understand it very nicely. Those who are Shatkarmi Brahmanas, that means they are doing all the puja, vidhi, everything, who is performing yajna, get the yajna performed also. Who give charity except charity. Who give mantras except mantras. They are known as Shatkarmi Brahmanas. Don't immediately think, oh, he's born in a Brahmin family, then he can accept the charity. No. This is only for those who are performing Shatkarma pujas. Shatkarma. They can perform the Shatkarmas. To those, charity is given. It is not given to Shudras and all. Now you cannot go and give cow to a Shudra. He doesn't know also what to do. But if you give to a Brahmana, Shatkarma Brahmana, what he'll do, he will drink cow's milk. His memory will be more sharp. He can read the Shastras and he can guide the society with the Shastras. That's why land, cows, horses. So the Brahmanas, the king knows how to protect the Brahmanas. Very nice.
What is Shatkarma, Mataji? Shatkarma Brahmana means?
Shatkarma, I told you 6 karmas are there. Giving charity, accepting charity. Giving mantras, accepting mantras. Performing yajna, make others perform yajna.
Thank you.
You have pujari who makes you do the yajna. So they are known as Shatkarma Brahmins. They give also charity, they accept also. Only accepting charity is only for Brahmanas. You cannot give charity to everyone. If he takes it, then they'll be bound by the reactions of your work. Whatever you have earned, the reactions he has to face. Like in our society we have, anybody gets Brahman initiation. By Brahman initiation, nobody becomes a Brahmana. Understand it very nicely. Immediately, no, you should not think I became a Brahmana. No. I am qualified to read the scriptures. That much only. I cannot become a Shatkarmi Brahman. I am qualified to worship the Lord, Pancharatrika system. I may be born in any community, doesn't matter, but I can perform Pancharatrika system for Krishna. Pancharatrika Vidhi worship for Krishna. That is why Brahman initiation is given, so that one can worship the deities. Understand it very nicely. By Brahman initiation, you can now worship the deities in the Pancharatrika system. You can cook for Lord, you can worship Lord, Dhupa, Deepa, then what you give water, then you have cloth, then you have chamar, you have pankha, all those things you can do. But immediately thinking that I become a Brahmana, I can accept the charity, no, will be nicely beaten with the reactions. That is why a person not born in a Brahmin family but got a Brahmin initiation, he can only do Vaishnava yajna. He cannot do sanskara yajnas. Sanskara yajnas are only done by Shatkarmi Brahmanas who are trained for it. Vaishnava yajna anybody can do. See, doing yajna, getting the yajna done, it's only Shatkarmi Brahmana who are born in the Brahmin family, who are trained also. Not that every Brahmana is trained. Most of the Brahmanas, they go to the offices and they are actually Shudras. Being a Vaishnava is wonderful. So you should know what you should understand. In this, what you understand. Shatkarmi Brahmanas can perform sanskaras. Simple. A Vaishnava Brahmana, he can come from any community, can perform Pancharatrika Vidhi. He can perform yajnas. That he can. Which yajna? Vaishnava yajna. According to Pancharatrika Vidhi, he can perform Sudarshan yajna, Narsimha yajna. This he can do. But Srimant Utsav, Vivaha Sanskara, Garbhadana Sanskara, They don't know also, na? They're not trained. And just because he came in ISKCON, then some Brahmin initiation, 7 Gayatris are given, that doesn't make him qualified to do Shatkarma Puja, Shatkarma Vidhis. He can do Pancharatrika Vidhi. Understand very nicely. Because Shatkarmas are also taught from the childhood. There is a Gurukul for that. Vedas are taught. Mantras are taught. You cannot chant any mantra. I went to one Vivaha. One Vaishnava Brahmana. Vaishnava Brahmana means understand. In ISKCON you have Brahmins, many Brahmins, Vaishnava Brahmanas. In the Vivaha Sanskara, he is chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janma Dese Tonvayadi Tarta Chartesha Vikyaswarat. Bhagavatam verse. How can you chant Bhagavatam verse for a Vivaha Sanskara? If you don't know anything, better is call Shatkarma Brahmana, make him do. Every sanskara has been given by Krishna. Vedas are written by Veda Vyasa. For every sanskara, there is a mantra which has been given. Simple. These 10 sanskara, important 10 sanskaras, by which there is a gradual evolvement in the spirituality. For Garbhadan also, there is a particular mantra. Better call Shatkarma Brahmana, get it done. Have respect for the Brahmin community, Shatkarma Brahmin communities. You should have respect for them. Just because we got Brahmin initiation, jumping up and down and doing all the sanskaras. All sanskaras becomes failure. All the sanskaras become failure, and it was a proof also. The moment the marriage happened, after 2 hours, the boy is admitted in hospital. It doesn't work. You see, whatever Krishna has given, the arrangement, one should not transgress that. Whatever arrangement has been given, just adopt it. We should adopt it. We should respect the Brahmin community. There are wonderful Shatkarma Brahmanas who really do these 10 sanskaras very nicely. If you don't get them, then he can what to do Pancharatrika Vidhi. For everyone, it is Pancharatrika Vidhi. But for Shatkarmas, it is for Sanskaras, it is Shatkarma Brahmanas. Okay? Next. Samuchur Brahmanas Tushta Rajan Prashrayanvitam Esha Yasmin Praja Tantam Urunam Pauravarshabaha. In this way, Lord, in this way, the Brahmanas addressed, they were very satisfied. They addressed to the king, Prashrayanvitam. They are feeling obliged. And they told him, this Eshaha Asmin is in the chain of descending line, Prajatanto, Purunam of the Purus, Paurava Rishivi. He will be chief among the Purus. We have Kurus, this is Purus. Nice. So, very clearly they told that he will be the chief among the Purus. So, it is here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, though the pure Shukle dynasty of the Purus was destroyed, Upayashi, this son was given Rataha. That means this son is given the place in the dynasty of Purus. This dynasty of Purus were destroyed actually by the unavoidable destiny. So, but this son has been given as mercy to you by the powerful Vishnus. Okay, for the powerful Vishnu. Therefore, he will be known as Vishnu Rata. That means gift of Vishnu. So, the dynasty of Puru was destroyed But somehow the son has come, and in this way, he will be Vishnu Rata. 16th verse also speaks about it. Daivena pratighatena shukle sansthamupeyushi rato vo nugraharthaya Vishnuna Prabha Vishnuna. So Daivena, by supernatural power, apratighatena, by what is irresistible, shukle, unto the pure, sanstham, destruction, upeyushi, having been enforced, rata, restored, vaha, for you, anugraha arthaya, for the sake of obliging Vishnuna, by the all-pervasive Lord, Prabha Vishnuna, by the all-powerful. So the Lord, the spotless Son, has been again given by all-pervasive Vishnu. In this way, he was saved from the weapon. Who has saved him? Prabha Vishnuna, the all-powerful Prabha Vishnuna, again all-pervasive, that is Vishnuna. It is Anugraha Arthaya. He has given his Anugraha to this child, and he has been saved from Sanstham, this destruction. He was saved from the destruction. And 17th verse also will read, Tasman namna Vishnurata iti loke bhavishyati na sandeho mahabhagavato mahan. So he is a gift of Lord. That is why he is Vishnurata. Therefore his name became Vishnurata. He is protected by Lord. He is gift of Lord. He is prasada of Lord. Iti loke bhavishyati. In the future he will be known as Vishnurata. Na sandeho mahabhaga. There is no sandeha, there is no doubt about it. He is Mahabhaga, is very fortunate. And Mahabhagavata also. He is fortunate also, and he is Mahabhagavata. He is a first-class devotee. And he has all Mahan, he has all the good qualities. That is how he is Vishnurata, he has been saved by Lord. And in this way, this child is restored in the Puru dynasty. Practically, the Puru dynasty was lost. Instead of calling Kuru dynasty, now it is Puru dynasty. Why Kauravas have gone? It is Pandavas who are ruling now. That is why it became Puru dynasty. It's not just Kauravas. They all come from Kuru dynasty only. But now it is Pandavas, it is Puru dynasty. Okay. So 15, 16, 17. Narayana, read all the 3 verses. Purport, translation, everything.
Yes, Mataji. Tamuchurbrahmanastushta rajanam prashrayanvitam esha yasmin prajatantau purunam varshabha. Translation. The learned Brahmanas, who were very satisfied with the charities of the king, addressed him as the chief amongst the Purus and informed him that his son was certainly in the line of descent from the Purus. Daivena pratighatena shukle samsthapupe mupeyushi rato vo nugraharthaya Vishnuna Prabha Vishnuna. Translation. The Brahmana said, this spotless son has been restored by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, in order to oblige you. He was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by an irresistible supernatural weapon. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The child Parikshit was saved by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Vishnu, Lord Krishna, for 2 reasons. The first reason is that the child in the womb of his mother was spotless due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. The second reason is that the child was the only surviving male descendant of Puru, the pious forefather of the virtuous king Yudhishthira. The Lord wants to continue the line of pious kings to rule over the earth as his representatives for the actual progress of a peaceful and prosperous life. After the battle of Kurukshetra, even up to the generation of King Maharaj Yudhishthir was annihilated, and there was none who could generate another son in the great royal family. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, was the only surviving heir apparent in the family, and by the irresistible supernatural Brahmastra weapon of Ashwatthama, he was forced to be annihilated. Lord Krishna is described herein as Vishnu, and this is also significant. Lord Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, does the work of protection and annihilation in the capacity of Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. The all-pervasive activities of the Lord are executed by him in his Vishnu feature. Child Parikshit is described here as spotlessly white because he is an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Such unalloyed devotees of the Lord appear on the earth just to execute the mission of the Lord. The Lord desires the conditioned souls hovering in the material creation to be reclaimed to go back home, back to Godhead, and thus he helps them by preparing the transcendental literatures like the Vedas, by sending missionaries of saints and sages, and by deputing his representatives, the spiritual master. Such transcendental literatures, missionaries, and representatives of the Lord are spotlessly white because the contamination of the material qualities cannot even touch them. They are always protected by the Lord when they are threatened with annihilation. Such foolish threats are made by the gross materialists. The Brahmastra, which was thrown by Ashwatthama at the child Parikshit, was certainly supernaturally powerful, and nothing of the material world could resist its force of penetration. But the all powerful Lord, who is present everywhere, within and without, could counteract it by his all powerful potency just to save a bona fide servant of the Lord and descendant of another devotee, Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was always obliged by the Lord by his causeless mercy. Tasman namna Vishnurata iti loke bhavishyati na sandeho mahabhagavato mahan. For this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. Purport: the Lord gives protection to all living beings because He is the supreme leader. The Vedic hymns confirm that the Lord is the supreme person amongst all personalities. The difference between two living beings is that the personality of Godhead, provides for all other living beings, and by knowing him, one can achieve eternal peace. Katha Upanishad. Such protection is given by his different potencies to different grades of living beings. But as far as his unalloyed devotees are concerned, he gives the protection personally. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit is protected from the very beginning of his appearance in the womb of his mother. And because he is especially given protection by the Lord, the indication must be concluded that the child would be a first-grade devotee of the Lord with all good qualities. There are three grades of devotees, namely the Mahabhagavata, Madhyam Adhikari, and Kanishta Adhikari. Those who go to the temples of the Lord and offer worshipful respect to the deity without sufficient knowledge in the theological science and therefore without any respect for devotees of the Lord are called materialistic devotees or Kanishta Adhikari, the third grade devotees. Secondly, the devotees who have developed a mentality of genuine service to the Lord and who thus make friendships only with similar devotees, show favor to the neophytes, and avoid the atheists are called the second grade devotees. But those who see everything in Lord and everything of the Lord, and also see in everything an eternal relation of the Lord, so that there is nothing within their purview of sight except the Lord, are called Mahabhagavatas, or the first grade devotees of the Lord. Such first grade devotees of the Lord are perfect in all respects. A devotee who may be in any of these categories is automatically qualified by all good qualities, and thus a Mahabhagavata devotee like Maharaj Parikshit is certainly perfect in all respects. And because Maharaj Parikshit took his birth in the family of Maharaj Yudhishthira, he is addressed herein as Mahabhagavata, or the greatest of the fortunates. The family in which a Mahabhagavata takes his birth is fortunate because due to the birth of a first grade devotee, the members of the family, past, present, and future, up to 100 generations, become liberated by the grace of the Lord out of respect for his beloved devotee. Therefore, the highest benefit is done to one's family simply by becoming an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Mataji, the same is said by Narsimdev to Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj asks whether Hiranyakashipu has received liberation.
But that was 21 generation.
So here Prabhupada writes about the three types of devotees. The first category comes to temple, take darshan, doesn't have a big knowledge about any shastras, disregards the devotees, and then goes away. Just comes, take darshan, gives. They are third class devotees, neophytes. Now, Madhyamadhikari, they have concern for the neophytes, but they don't want some atheists. They are anti-atheists. They don't talk to atheists. So then they do the bifurcation. They have the knowledge of the shastras, but they bifurcate. This is atheist. This is devotee. But a first class devotee, he can go to everyone. He can talk to everyone. He can go to everyone. In fact, his presence makes even the atheists also devotees. So in this way, so he doesn't discriminate who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee.
One
What?
clarification can I ask? This shloka number 16 translation. The first sentence, the spotless sun has been restored by the all-powerful pervasive Lord Vishnu. My question is whether Lord protected him from being killed, or he was first killed and then restored, as it is written here. Parikshit Maharaj, this Brahmastra...
Womb, he is not killed. The womb is again restored. The womb was destroyed. Child is not destroyed.
Okay.
The womb was destroyed. So again the womb is restored.
Because the sentence is spotless sun.
Because Jataka ceremony, how it happens? Only after delivery. First Lord protected only.
Brahmastra,
And the delivery.
womb was destroyed, but child was saved. Then womb was restored by Lord Vishnu. Okay.
So about the three categories, and here is Vishnu Rata, is a first class devotee, Mahabhagavata. And this Mahabhagavata is going to uplift all the 100 generations. That is 100 generations. Anybody takes to devotional service very nicely, 21 generations anyhow are delivered. But one has to be very serious in devotional service. So 21 generations are delivered. With Mahabhagavata, 100 generations are delivered. Okay, now let us see what Raja says. Sri Rajavat, what Yudhishthira Maharaj speaks to us. Sri Rajovacha, Ayyesha Vamshayan Rajarshin, Punyashlokan Mahatmanah, anuvartita anuvartitasvit yashasa sadhuvadena sattama. So the king Yudhishthira said, Api, whether Vamshayan, this family, Yesha Vamshayan, Raja Rishi of saintly kings, Punya Shlokan, pious by the very name, Mahatmana, all great souls, Anuvartita, follower, Swit, will it be, Yashasa by achievements, Sadhuvadena by glorification, Sattamaha, O great souls. So now King Yudhishthira is asking, he is asking the Brahmanas, will he become as saintly a king? Will he become Raja Rishi? As pious in his very name is Vishnu Ratana. So will he become a wonderful, first his name is Vishnu Rata. Then came Parikshit because he went on inquiring. So it became Parikshit. The first name kept is Vishnu Rata. So nice name is protected. So will he become a wonderful king? And which type of king? Saintly king, Raja Rishi. And will his achievements be famous and glorified? Because others who appeared in this great family, royal family, their achievements have been glorified and they become famous. So this boy also will become famous. So I want to know about this child, whether he will become Raja Rishi. In this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking. That is how the horoscope is made. When the child is born, astrological charts are read. How will be the child? If that should be read, then the parents can focus on that particular thing. So astrological charts for every child should be made, and then accordingly one has to develop the child. My astrological chart was read, and my mother hid the chart itself. You know what was written? She will be on the path of sadhu. So my mother was really worried. She will run away. Maybe she will go away from the house. But again, she hid the chart. That doesn't work. Even if she hides also, what is going to happen? So it doesn't mean that you have to run away from the house. You can be in the path of devotion. As sadhu's association, because it is clearly written in my chart, she will have sadhu's association. So my mother was thinking, what will happen? This girl child shall go away then. So she was hiding, but she was not knowing in the future, ISKCON will come where we have the association of devotees. Generally, every parents, they have that fear, especially girl child. They have the fear. So you cannot hide the chart. You should, in fact, read the chart, train the child. Train the child. Even if the child is not trained also, in future, it is going to happen. Whatever is there in the chart, it will happen. So everybody has to read their astrological chart very nicely and cultivate their actions accordingly. Okay. Who will read? Kusum. Read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm good tonight. Shri Rajovacha Atyesha Vamshyan Rajasin Punyashlokan Mahatmanaha Anuvartita Svidyashasa Sadhuvadena Sattamaha. Translation for Srila Prabhupada. The good king Yudhishthira inquired, O great souls, will he become as saintly a king, as pious in his very name, and as famous and glorified in his achievements as others who appeared in this great royal family? Purport: the forefathers of King Yudhishthira were all great saintly kings, pious and glorified by their great achievements. They were all saints on the royal throne, and therefore all the members of the state were happy, pious, well behaved, prosperous, and spiritually enlightened. Under strict guidance of the great souls and spiritual injunctions, such greatly saintly kings were trained up, and as a result, the kingdom was full of saintly persons and was a happy land of spiritual life. Maharaja Yudhishthira was himself a replica of his ancestors, and he desired that the next king after him become exactly like his great forefathers. He was happy to learn from the learned Brahmanas that by astrological calculations, the child would be born a first grade devotee of the Lord, and more confidentially, he wanted to know whether the child was going to follow in the footsteps of his great forefathers. That is the way of the monarchical state. The reigning king should be a pious, chivalrous devotee of the Lord and fear personified for the upstarts. He must also leave on heir apparent equally qualified to rule over the innocent citizens. In the modern setup of the democratic states, the people themselves are fallen to the qualities of the Shudras or less, and the government is run by the representative who is ignorant of the scriptural mode of administrative education. Thus, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with Shudra qualities manifested by lust and avarice. Such administrators
What happened? Read somebody
quarrel
continue.
every day among themselves. He and groups to exploit.
Where such administrators, from there you read. If you're not placed in a proper this where connectivity, keep your videos off and read. Where you read such
Now can
administrators? Keep
now
your
can
video
you hear
off
my
now. You keep your video off
okay. Okay.
and read from there. Such
Such
administrators.
Such administrators quarrel every day among themselves. The cabinet of ministers changes often due to party and group selfishness. Everyone wants to exploit the state resources till he dies. No one retires from political life unless forced to do so. How can such low-grade men do good to the people? The result is corruption, intrigue, and hypocrisy. They should learn from the Srimad Bhagavatam how ideal the administrators must be before they can be given charge of different posts. Hare Krishna.
If you see
Thanks.
every verse, Prabhupada has given big purpose. So this is the first canto and Prabhupada wants to teach everything. How should be an administrator. You will see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, only one line is there. Much elaborate thing has not been given. Prabhupada intentionally writes so that this will be the foundation, the first foundation, teachings. It will be the first foundation. How should be administrator? Because Raja Rishi, what is the meaning of Raja Rishi? Everything. Because his audience that time, his audience has to know everything. What is Rishi, what is... So that is why Prabhupada gives this basic teachings first. This is the foundation teachings. So here we'll stop. What Brahmanas are answering, that we'll do next time. I may increase 1 or 2 class after, because I may get some time. If I get a time, I can take 3 more classes extra, because 3 classes yours are missed. Last week 2 classes and this Tuesday was missed. Also, last Thursday I think was missed. 2 classes were missed. And this Tuesday also was missed. Yeah. So 3 classes were missed. So I'll try to take it, because we can cover this 12th chapter and then we will have an examination, 10th, 11th, 12th examination. And 13, 14, 15 also exam, then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all 4 chapters. It will take 1 year more to finish, but we'll do slowly. We don't want to hurry now. Okay? Any doubt in this?
Yes, Mataji. Why no Garbhadan Sanskar for Shudras?
Well, they don't know. What Garbhadan Sanskar is done so that the child which is born will read the Shastras. Any of Shudras are not meant for that. That Ahara is also not, they all eat everything. Huh? Everything depends. Huh? Why Shudras? Because they are more in tamas. How can you expect Sato guna to come in tamasic boom, very difficult. Vaibhav sanskar means getting sato child, sato guni child, satom sanjayate jnana. We have this after Britishers, everything like everybody is same. Cannot be. How can everybody be same? Why gunas are given? Generally, we try to have so much of sympathy. You show sympathy, no doubt. But you should know how to deal with different types of people according to different types of gunas. Now, Chaturvarne Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Krishna is given according to the gunas. Why Shudras are not taking milk products? Ask them. So much of sympathy, then why they don't take? The tongue is not for that. That gunas doesn't allow them to take some satoguni ahara. Satoguni ahara is not there. How Shastras can be read? Garbhadan sanskara is to produce good children, not tamasic children. Eat some bakri, eat some cow meat, mutton, chicken. Do you think Shastras will enter in their mouth? Why a Pandita will waste his time in doing Garbhadan sanskara? Because the food what they eat is blood and dead body of others.
But that means Shudra can never be a Bhakta?
See, I am not talking about Bhakta. I am not talking about any Bhaktas. There is Kanakadas, who was a fisherman. He did so much of devotion to Udupi Krishna that he turned himself. Bhakti is above all the three gunas. Only when Shudra comes in, why to speak of Shudra? Who are the first students of Srila Prabhupada? They are not even Shudras, they are Mlechas. At least Shudras come in 4 categories. These Mlechas, what happened? Just because of the association of devotee, they became devotees. They became so purified that they could guide all the societies. Devotion has nothing to do with your gunas. But at the same time, gunas has everything to do with the devotion also. If you don't come to the platform of Satoguna, you can never understand Bhakti. That is why it is a duty of the Acharyas to raise a person from Tamas to come at least to the platform of Sato. That is why Ahara Shuddhi is given. Take prasadam. Even a Shudra, when he comes to a temple, starts taking prasadam. When he starts taking prasadam, then automatically his tongue is purified. Ahar Shuddho, Sattva Shuddho, Dhruva Smritir. Then his intelligence becomes sharpened. Smritir Lamne Sarvagrantinam Vipramokshaha. Then he understands what is the real meaning of keeping your memory sharpened. That means to revive our lost relationship with Krishna. What is memory? Recollecting of whatever happened. So what happened in the course of time? I forgot my relationship. So that is why when you take Shuddha Ahara, that relationship is revived. Okay. So that is the only reason. Even if it is Shudra, why Shudra? Let us speak about Mlechas. Those who are born with meat only. In the stomach, what the mother is taking? Meat only. So born with meat. So born, that is why Mlechas, after becoming devotees, should never criticize Brahmanas. Because the Brahmana in our community, those who are Shatkarmi Brahmanas, at least they don't take meat and all. That is why it is an offense. Just because we got devotion, it doesn't mean that we start criticizing everyone. We should be obliged to our acharyas to give us devotion. Just because we have become devotees or we are in the devotional path, we should not criticize Brahmins. Because Brahmana birth is not just a chance. It has been given by Lord by seeing the merits of our gunas. Guna karma vibhagasha. That is why first offense is what? Never criticize anyone, especially those who are walking in the path of devotion. Very good. At least on those who have been given this chance to come as a Brahmin. And now he is forgetting his Shatkarma Brahmanical nature, taking up to other work, then he is Dvija Bandhu. Is known as Dvija Bandhu. That means he is a son or brother or a relative of a Brahmin. At least he is a Brahmana, no? Should respect him.
Okay. Second question. What is Shat Bhakshanam Sanskara? Shat Bhakshanam Sanskara.
I don't have that much idea about it. But somewhere Shadbhakshana is, yes, I have it. 6 types of food, Shadbhakshana Sanskara. Well, after Srimant Utsava, this is given. Shadbhakshana Samskaras, yes. These all variety foods are given. But generally it is included in that. That is why specially there is no special sanskara for it. Because we try to do most of the sanskaras which has been given in the Shastras to our Jumur, Naina Manjari, Nikhil, Jumur, Naina Manjari, we have done. So Shalbhakshana Sanskaras comes under the Srimant Utsava.
Thank you.
Okay. Panchakalpa Vishwa, passing the way of Chakatitanam, Pavani, Vishnu.